Army National Guard. Sponsored.
Healthy is difficult. What nutritional supplements should you take? What foods are best for you? What health practitioner should you see? You've got health questions, I've got health answers. From heartburn to hemorrhoids, pain to pimples, carpal tunnel to the common cold, gluten to gallbladder, and gingivitis, and all points in between. I'm Dr. Bob Martin. Tune into my Sunday talk show at 10 o'clock on Talk 1470 WNN.
Talk here, talk there. Talk 1470 AM and 95.3 FM, the Health and Wealth Radio Network. WNN.
This is Alyssa, the Paint Girl. Car accidents happen. Get the most affordable, convenient, superior vehicle repair with concierge service. The Paint Girl provides pickup and delivery with no additional cost. Our body shops have over 30 years combined experience. The Paint Girl handles all makes, models, lease return repairs, and insurance claims. Your smart choice for vehicle repair, The Paint Girl. Call 954-691-7024. That's 954-691-7024.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Are you ready? It is your time to take a few moments from your busy day to unwind, be inspired, and listen to the psychic insights of your host, empowerment psychic, Halley, Elise, a top 100 psychic, speaker, and author. Off air, be sure to connect with Halley at halleyelise.com. And now, the Halley Elise Show.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me. And, of course, happy Memorial Day to you. We do want to take a pause and think about those men and women who have served, who represent our country, who give of their lives. I want to think in terms of it's not all about hot dogs and just hanging out, though it is very much about community. So today gives us an opportunity to remember those who have given of themselves, as well as to connect and reconnect with our loved ones, whether they are blood relations or they are just our neighbors. Hopefully you've had a chance to do that. I know the weather has been quite inclement lately. Not as crazy as it's been up north. I just got back from Philadelphia and was visiting with some folks who needed to go to Maryland, where they were headed. About a mile out, there were floods. I don't know if you've seen the news at all, but it's been insane. Water was halfway up the cars. There were people floating down the street. I mean, just insanity. And I'm looking around going, wow, look at this craziness with the weather. The earth is definitely changing. We will talk about that a little bit, but I do want to remember to say thank you to the Paint Girl. Now, you did hear the commercial a moment ago, but a reminder to you to take a look at her website. It's paintgirlauto.com. And think in terms of being spoiled, being taken care of. Oftentimes when we have car repair that is needed, it's difficult because we have to take off time from work or we have to try to get our family to different places. The Paint Girl will actually pick up your vehicle, take care of it, and bring it back. So it makes your life a bit easier. Again, just wanted to say thank you because I love her being a sponsor, and she's a great gal. And the thing, too, I don't know if you caught last time she was on the air, she was saying that if she's not able to fix something for you, she knows a lot of people. She'll make a referral, and integrity is very important to her. Something to keep in mind. Now, I'll do a little 360 here and go back to what I started to say about our world is shifting. But before I go into that, there is an aside here, which I think is quite interesting. I was doing some reading, and I'm not sure if a lot of you are familiar with this term, epigenetics. It, though, if you will, affirms so much of what I've been speaking about for years. It affirms so much of what a lot of spiritualists have been talking about, people with a lot of different holistic practices. And I'm going to give you the short version, but you might want to remember the word epigenetics. So it's EPI and then genetics. What science is now showing is that when you think, when you feel, you actually change not just the chemical reactions in your brain, but you actually change your physical body. And the reason that I say it will affirm this is for years I have been saying to people, you can do this. You shift where your thoughts are, you shift where your feeling is, and all of a sudden you're finding magic, you're finding miracles, you're finding things in your world that didn't work. I've shared multiple times a story about one of my students in meditation class from years ago who was astonishing. She came in because she felt she needed to manage stress. She had an heart problem. She was actually supposed to go for surgery. After 6 weeks of being in class, she went in for the surgery, and they ran the tests. They thought there was something wrong with the equipment. They brought in another technician. They brought in more equipment. They finally brought the doctor in. The doctor took a look at all of the test results and said, I don't know what you did, but you don't need to be here today. Go home. Didn't need the surgery. This is something that is real. And how nice is it that science is beginning to support us? Now, we have known for many years that how we perceive something changes our reality, meaning that outside of ourselves. Yet, a lot of people haven't believed or allowed themselves to really believe that if you shift something in here, and it's not just the brain, it's the mind, allowing the mind to, I don't want to say control, but alter the brain, then you shift everything. We've talked before on different shows about Dr. Emoto and water and about how the body has an intelligence, it has an intuitiveness because of the amount of water. So anytime that we say something, anytime that we think something, we feel something, we have an effect on our physical body, not just our emotional body, not just kinetically. This is something physical, and science is now sharing this. So think epigenetics and take a look. There's several books out. There's a lot of scientists that are talking about it. And it's interesting because there's a methodology that a friend of mine's been using for years, and she has been saying for years about how when the person is there and they have an affect, that it in turn effects for generations at least going backwards, not forward, but backwards. So it actually shifts things and then changes what takes place from that point forward. It may sound a little confusing, but the gist of it is change your mind and change your body. Change your mood and change your body. What if, and I'm going to just put this out there and then I'll let this go, but what if you start to envision yourself as a 30-year-old version of yourself, and you start to think about what that looked like, what that felt like, maybe even take out some old photos and compliment yourself on your hair or your skin or your physique, what have you. And you do that on a consistent basis so that when you look in the mirror, instead of seeing whatever age you are, 50, 60, 70, 45, you start to actually connect with that younger version of yourself. Now, without even going beyond just this moment, think about this. If you're looking in the mirror and you start to see a younger version of yourself, how are you going to feel? It's kind of a reverse of what I was saying before, because I'm saying see it and then feel it versus think it and feel it and thinking it and changing, but it's all interconnected. As I said, epigenetics, take a look. I'll let that go. Now back to the earth. Mother Earth obviously supports us, and we in turn are supposed to support it. We are supposed to look after each other. We're supposed to take good care. And you've heard me talk about this a lot in different contexts for the past several weeks, probably even a couple of months here, come to think of it. The overall impression is if we start giving love back to the earth, then the earth will start giving love back to us. Now, you can say, oh, come on, now that's that a whole heebie-jeebie thing and woo-woo stuff, and it doesn't really work that way. But what happens if you have a front yard, for instance, and you start to water it? Your grass gets greener, right? And you can go, well, it's a necessity. It's something that you have to have. Okay. And yet, when you're watering it, just the process of watering that yard means that you are anticipating a change. You are expecting there to be a return because you're giving water. Take it a step further. If we're looking at the earth as something that we honor and love and respect on a daily basis, it in turn will start giving us something back. And I'm not going to go on and on and on about this. I'm just going to put it out there to keep into your mind, to keep into your memory. Today is a day where we're remembering those who gave. How about if we start giving in a different way, honoring the people we love? Absolutely. Honoring those who put themselves in harm's way and giving prayers? Absolutely. Let's take it that step further. Start focusing on the earth being blessed. Start focusing on what is it that we can do as individuals to create that peace within the earth itself, not just with people. Because if the earth is feeling good, then the weather conditions are going to be different. Plants will be more vibrant. You will start to see a difference in your environment. You will start to literally feel a difference. A couple of things to ponder. Okay. Why I became so philosophical this evening? I don't know. Probably because I've been doing a lot of reading and research and meditating, etc., like always, but there are certain things that just pique my interest or get me excited, and I like to share. Now, I want to share something else because I kind of experienced this through friends this past couple of days. We know that when somebody passes, their physical body is no longer here. We're very well aware of that. And yet, how many people have said to you, I can still feel their presence? Or something happens as soon as that person passes. A photo of them falls down with no air, with nobody touching it, with no movement. It just falls. Or lights go on and off. Or I heard something really interesting the other day, which was after their mom had passed, the radio in the car did not work for about 2 months. They didn't do anything to fix it. They just thought, okay, I'll get to it later. It wasn't that important to them. But for about 2 months, it did this funny little thing and wouldn't work right. All of a sudden, it started working just fine. And at the same time, they were feeling that presence. They were feeling their loved one around. In the same way that I suggested earlier about where our thoughts go, that's where energy goes. That's where, meaning if our focus is somewhere, then we have the ability to see things differently on the outside. We shift it on the inside. All of this, again, is interconnected. And you constantly hear me talk about we're not separate. We're not separate from our environment. We're not separate from the people that we love who pass. Yes, there's a separation as far as that physicality. Obviously, we're not able to reach out and just hug somebody when they're not here. But you can do it in your mind. You can envision being in their company. You can meditate being in a garden and taking a path and running into that loved one and giving them a big embrace. I think this evening's show really is about letting go of limitations. And it's funny, if I have a guest on, I know exactly where I'm going. When it's just me, I usually contemplate beforehand, what direction are we going in? What message does the universe want me to deliver or share? And I feel like this evening it really has to do with limitations. If we let go of the idea that we can't, then we can. If we let go of the idea of it's always been that way, then it'll be different. If we let go of the idea that we're separate from those who have passed, then we don't feel that way. It's fascinating that our whole existence is based on our beliefs. It's based on where we are. It is based on what we've allowed ourselves to ascribe to. And that can change. We have that amazing ability to change. There's the expression that we're all, how is it, in God's image? We're all created in God's image. And I was trying to phrase it in a different way because people have different belief systems. But let's say the word God is just representative of the goddess, of Buddha, of the divine, of the universe, of universal intelligence, whatever that name is, Jesus, obviously. Our master teachers, our master entities, whatever name connects with you, We are made in their image. Doesn't mean that we look identical to them. It means that we have that same grace, that same power, that same energy that they do. We can create. Let you think about that for a moment. We're going to take a quick break, and I'm going to make a little suggestion. Give a call for psychic reading this evening. It's 888-565-1470, and we'll be right back.
This is Alyssa, the Paint Girl. Car accidents happen. Get the most affordable, convenient, superior vehicle repair with concierge service. The Paint Girl provides pickup and delivery with no additional cost. Our body shops have over 30 years combined experience. The Paint Girl handles all makes, models, lease return repairs, and insurance claims. Your smart choice for vehicle repair, the Paint Girl. Call 954-691-7024. That's 954-691-7024.
This is your empowerment psychic, Halley, Elise, one of the top 100 psychics in America. For over 30 years, I have offered psychic readings, programs, spiritual guidance, and other life skill techniques. As our lives have become more complicated, we often reach for answers. Who are we? Where are we headed? Are we pointed in the right direction? In addition, we often are concerned for our loved ones. I have helped thousands of people navigate their life circumstances through different modalities of spiritual and intuitive guidance. Call me at 561-755-2166 and allow me to further explain how I may assist you in clearing the path of yesterday so today and tomorrow will be a success. Call me at 561-755-2166 or visit my site, HalleyElise.com. That's HalleyElise.com.
You have been listening to empowerment psychic Halley Elise, a top 100 psychic. She is your connection to all things spiritual, psychic, and empowering. Your guide to peace and wisdom. For a private appointment off air, call 561-755-2166. Now, back to the Halley Elise Show with empowerment psychic Halley Elise.
Welcome back. If you're watching and you're seeing me look at my phone, bear with me one moment. I wanted to get out the calendar so that I could share a couple of things with you. Okay, the first thing is June 13th, which is a Wednesday at 7 p.m., the lovely Susan Forma will be doing face yoga over at my office building in the evening. And if you'd like to join us, we'd love you to be there. I believe it's $35. Don't quote me exactly, but I believe that's what it is off the top of my head. And then shortly thereafter, I'm just going to the page here, if I can find it. Oh, my goodness. I believe it's the following week. Oh, I just love my calendar when it works. How about you? I believe it's on a Sunday, maybe the 24th. No, it's not coming up. Goodness. Nope, the 17th is Father's Day. Oh, I know exactly when it is. Okay, it is the 10th. All right, on the 10th, we will be, Susan Forma and I, over at Howard's Famous, which is on Federal Highway in Boca, for a private event for food, for camaraderie, for networking, and again, for Susan sharing with everyone about face yoga. And when I say sharing, you will have the opportunity to actually learn exercises that you can do at home and avoid surgery. How about that? I mean, that's pretty cool. Getting rid of crow's feet, getting rid of dark circles and bags. Without injections, I definitely want to be there. And this is why I said, yes, let me host this for you. So there's two opportunities. There is the 13th of June, and then at the 10th, I may have that backwards, so bear with me. I'll tell you what, since I don't have it right in front of me, I should probably pull up the actual flyer, but I'll do one better for you. If you can drop me a little note on Facebook or just drop me a line, I will make sure that I send you the flyers, and this way you'll know for sure. But I can tell you, and again, I believe it's $35 for the one that is in the evening, and I am positive that it is a Wednesday evening, and it is around 7:30 p.m. That's for an hour and a half. And then the one that is on the Sunday over at Howard's Famous, so you'll have an opportunity to try some of their food, which is awesome. That's $50, but it is for a 2-hour period of time. And again, networking, some socialization. There's going to be some other things taking place in addition to the face yoga. Drop me a line or just say something to me on Facebook, and I'll make sure I get you that information. As well, I do want to remind you, the Psychic Gallery. I know a lot of people are like, oh, come on, you were doing it monthly. What happened? Schedules. I'm terribly sorry. Running back and forth, out of state, here, there, everywhere. There's just only so many hours. And this is why we're doing the Psychic Gallery 3 times a year instead of monthly. The next one, though, will be August 1st, which also is a Wednesday. So a couple things to keep in mind. And again, if you have any questions, give a holler or just write a little note. And I will actually get these things on social media. I'm doing my darndest here. I was just talking with the producer about this earlier. I need more hands, more hours, more something to make sure everything gets done. All right. Got that out of the way. And once again, I am also going to just say thank you to the Paint Girl, because she's a blast and she does beautiful work with lots of integrity. And if you have a problem with your car, if there's a collision, if there's an accident, you definitely want to reach out to paintgirlauto.com. All right, I believe I have, speaking of Susans, a Susan on the line. Hello, are you there?
I am here. Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, that's why I'm calling in. I'm a bit frazzled.
Okay, honey.
I've got, life likes to throw challenges at me in big chunks rather than doling them out one at a time.
Right.
And I got a bunch of them going right on, and I'm worried. I'm trying to stop worrying. But I'd just like to know if you can kind of see down the road how things are going to go.
Okay.
I would appreciate it.
Sure. So the last, I'd say, 5 months has been quite tumultuous, at least. Changes with work, changes with what you're doing as far as finances, with relationships, just a lot of things going on at one time. What's nice is you are kind of edging your way out of this funky little period of everything being up in the air. You need to breathe. You need to really stay very, very laser focused right now, because what's happening energetically is you're kind of in a cycle that has to do with hurry up and slow down, meaning, and you know how this works. You focus on something and you feel like, oh, I'm moving in the right direction. Things are good. And then somebody pulls the rug out and you're like, hey, what's going on? That's where you're sitting. But this is going to be changing here very soon. I feel like it's second week of July. So what is that, month and a half down the line? There is definitely a pivotal shift. In the interim, though, anything you do, you really have to be laser focused, which means having 5 things on your plate now, not a good idea. You have to say, okay, I have one thing for my personal life, I have one thing for my professional life, and that's where the focus has to be so that you can bring things into form. As to making things happen on a financial end here, you've got some old programming running through your head, Susan. You really have to find a way to let that go. I don't know if you caught the earlier part of the show, what I was talking about, as far as with epigenetics and with the idea that when we affirm something, it's not just an affirmation, but we actually start to make changes within ourselves so that we can make changes within our reality and how we look at things. And I'm telling you this, you already know all this. It's how can you help yourself keep on track? And I want to make a suggestion. If you have a voice recorder on your phone, record something to the effect of, every day when I wake up, I am fully in charge of my life. Things come to me with ease. Things that I don't need leave my space immediately. All is well. The verbiage can be a little different, but put it on something like your phone, because, hey, we all carry our phones around, and play it before you go to sleep at night. Let it be the last thing you listen to.
Okay.
Start to shift things in softer, easier ways, because what happens is you get challenged, and I'm pretty sure you'll affirm this as well. You get challenged, and then there's that panic mode that you go into because you're as smart as you are, and you are very, very smart. As smart as you are, your emotion takes over, and all the wisdom kind of sits in the back seat. We have to let that wisdom come forward.
The 5-year-old starts driving the bus.
Yes, there you go. 5-year-old starts driving the bus. I'd love that. I have to remember that. If you can allow yourself truly to say, okay, I'm making a commitment to me. I'm going to do this little recording that's less than a minute, and I'm literally going to play it as the last thing that I hear before I go to sleep at night, you will start to notice a difference. You've got to first allow yourself to move something to a different place. It's almost, okay, I'm going to give you a little something else here as we're talking because something just popped in here. Think of your conflict right now as food, okay? And take a moment, and you can do this quickly. Envision your stove with 2 big skillets. One has all the stuff that's conflict. Turn the flame up on high. Watch it burn. Watch it go poof away. Get so hot that there is nothing left but the skillet. And as soon as that disappears, see the other skillet being filled with everything that you want. And identify, and again, because you're smart, this is easy for you to do. Identify the things that you don't want with something that perhaps you would never eat in your life, and something that you do want with the favorite thing that you would eat. Create a visual of literally burning, letting go, eliminating completely all the conflict, and in its place, because the universe is a vacuum. You can never have an empty space without something filling it. Fill it with those things that you are desiring. And keep in mind that mid-July, everything turns for you. So if you stay laser focused now, things will fall into place. All right, my friend?
Thank you, Halley. I appreciate it.
Okay, honey. Have a beautiful night and happy Memorial Day.
You too. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in this evening. I hope I gave you a few things to contemplate earlier this evening. Again, feel free to reach out. I will send you personally all information. I am going to get to my computer in the next day or two here and hit the email list and send out lots. But in between, I can connect with you. Have a lovely evening, and thank you.
Remember to tune in every Tuesday on WNN at 9 p.m. for more peace, inspiration, and psychic phenomena with empowerment psychic Halley Elise, Top 100 Psychic.